So forget about networking and build relationships. Connect. How many of you have attended networking events, engaged in small talk, shook hands, and exchanged business cards? How many referrals have you gotten out of those brief interactions? Introducing yourself to me and handing me your business card is not going to get me to refer work to you. I don't know you. In order to provide referrals or resources to my clients, I need to know that you're going to take care of my clients the same way that I do. I need to trust you, and I need to know that you care. Connecting is all about trust, authenticity, and caring. Connecting is all about trust, authenticity, and caring. Maya Angelou said, "People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." In fact, people don't care how much you know until they truly know how much you care. So to move from networking to connecting, it's all about the exposure effect. The mere exposure effect is a psychological phenomenon where people tend to develop a preference for things simply because they're familiar. In social psychology, this is sometimes called the familiarity principle. Think about it. When we're familiar, we're comfortable and generally trusting. So to embrace the exposure effect, it's not about connecting just with those people within the four walls of your business or your industry, or people that look like you, act like you, think like you, or are the same age as you. It's about learning, growing, and broadening your relationships. We live in a diverse world with multiple generations in the workforce, with differing views, ideas, perspectives. So embrace the exposure. Now, I never turn down a connecting opportunity. In fact, I have 4 to 5 people a month referred to me by others saying, "Jayne is someone you need to know." Now, that's not because I'm anyone famous or really all that spectacular, but I take the time. I listen, I learn, and I try to provide others that I meet with connections or other value. I want to hear their story and connect. I'm also becoming familiar because we meet face to face. I'm real, I'm human, and I care. I started my consulting practice back in late 2007. I know, real great timing. I left my job as the primary income for our family with the attitude, I'm going to do this. I had spent the last 4 years as an executive CFO for a family-owned 5th-generation business, and the last 2 years of that time also working with an organizational development consulting firm. I learned through my clients that there was a need to help business owners and their teams navigate growth and change. So off I went. Now, I knew nothing about networking. Connecting. I had been part of an executive agenda group for the past 17 years. So I had connected with other executives, but I had really never gone outside of that circle or really the resources within the businesses that I had operated. So where did I start? I reached out to a couple of key, experienced, older gentlemen that had been part of the executive boards or the boards that I had been, that they had participated on within the companies that I had worked. And I really began to listen and learn. One of the key factors that I got from each of them was their generosity, their humbleness, and their willingness to coach and share. Now, I wasn't selling them on my consulting services, but I was listening to their stories and their wisdom. They took the time. They also helped connect me with others, and I began to reach out to really anyone that I could to better understand the market, the needs, how best to communicate, and how I could help them. I wasn't pushing or selling my consulting, but I was sharing my story. But most importantly, I wanted to hear theirs. Creating real connections takes time. Networking is once and done. It's a brief interaction. It's an exchange of business cards. And really, where does that get you? It gets you this, a stack of business cards on your desk. Connections, real relationships, on the other hand, really touch your heart and create everlasting partnerships. One of the expectations of our consultants when they interview and come on board is to build connections. They're expected to increase their exposure and the exposure of the firm. And as they become more familiar, the more likely we are to be referred when an opportunity presents itself. So I'd like each of you to please just take out your business cards, and I want you to hold it up. Just take out your business cards quick and hold it up for me. And just turn it around so the people around you can kind of see. And I want you just to take a look and see what's on the business card. Just briefly, what do you see on the business card? How many of you have your pictures on your business card? I was told by the marketing and graphic designer when I first started my practice and had my business cards designed that it was unprofessional to put your picture on your business card. That was only for realtors. So let me ask you this. How many of you are visual learners? Approximately 65% of the population are visual learners. I myself am a visual learner. I remember faces, not names. To form a connection, one of the first steps is familiarity. What creates familiarity? Seeing people's faces. We begin to think we know them. This happens all the time with actors, actresses, and professional athletes. We tend to trust a recommendation or endorsement from a known public figure. We feel like we personally know them, and we trust them. Think of Michael Jordan and Nike. How many billions of dollars in tennis shoes has Nike sold because of the trusted endorsement of Michael Jordan? How many of you personally know Michael Jordan? What about Taylor Swift and Coke, Danica Patrick and GoDaddy, Matthew McConaughey and the Lincoln Motor Company? These promoters have used the familiarity effect to increase the sales of their products and services. They have used the familiarity of actors and actresses to create trust and encourage us to take action to buy more products and services. Now, there are many interactions I have because people think they know me. They've seen my face on my business card. They've seen my face on articles that I publish every 6 weeks in our regional business publication, The Business News. The repetitiveness becomes familiar. I said earlier I have 4 to 5 people a month reach out to me to personally connect. Now, I didn't say social media connections, but in-person connections. I never say no. I learn about them, they learn about me, and I'm increasing my exposure. Nothing beats a face-to-face meeting. In fact, nearly 100% of people say face-to-face meetings are essential for long-term business relationships. The closure rate on face-to-face meetings, 40%. Now, I'm not closing anything in most of these meetings, but I am creating connections for future opportunities. I'm becoming familiar. Networking is 9 to 5. Relationships are forever. When you approach interactions with a positive attitude, authenticity, and a heart of caring, your fruits will multiply. Connecting beyond networking. Our business, Jayne Consulting, has grown an average of 45% a year for the past 4 years. All of our business has come from connections, referrals, and the exposure effect. We have built our business based on developing relationships. Your attitude, your authenticity, and your heart will determine your success. Power connectors give. So let me leave you with this one question as you engage in future networking events. Are you networking or are you connecting? Thank you.